Was the Super Mario Galaxy movie really that bad? That is the question on everybody's mind, and I just saw the movie this morning at 11 a.m. It's the evening now. I've been sitting on it for a bit, and my first impressions, reactions to this movie is it's mixed. I really had mixed feelings, and yeah, I gotta talk about it right now. I'm someone who actually really enjoys the first Super Mario Brothers movie. A lot of people have a lot of flaws with this movie. There's a bunch of Easter eggs and all of that, and but a lot of the people who talk about these movies, these video game movies, I do feel like maybe don't watch that many movies. Movies is my like second biggest hobby besides gaming. I love movies. Honestly, I probably put more hours into movies and TV than I do gaming, even though this is a gaming channel, right? But I've spent so many years of my lives only playing games and not watching movies or TV shows at all. So I can really relate to the gamers who only play games and then they'll only tune into movies or TV that are video game related. And yeah, a lot of people saw the first Mario Brothers movie as just like, a giant Easter egg and reference hunt and all that. And surely, of course, that's something you can do with these movies that actually make it kind of fun and kind of gamify just the movies a little bit where, oh, look at that Easter egg, look at that reference, always being on the lookout for that kind of stuff. But this movie, I've actually seen it 5 times now. It hopefully doesn't sound that crazy. I'm not like a big super fan of it, even though like I do have a movie poster there. Like I said, movies and games are my biggest hobbies, so I'm actually gonna put a Mario movie poster and a Zelda movie poster there. That's kind of my plan for that little spot of the wall. And until the Zelda movie comes out and the Zelda movie poster, I've been in no rush to hang that up. But I've seen the movie 5 times now. Once in theaters, once on the 4K when I got this, and I only really watched it when it came because the disc was scratched. I was like, I need to make sure it works, so I did that. Uh, we were gonna watch it for Christmas this year to have my son it be his first movie that he watches. And in preparation for the Mario Galaxy movie, got to watch the first movie right before that, and so Christmas that seemed like a good Christmas gift, but. We wanted to do it upstairs. It's not child proof or toddler proof down here. So I didn't want to watch on this setup. And so I've always been meaning to get a budget set up for my living room. So I got all the equipment for that, a 4K, a cheap 4K player, a cheap sound system. That's something I've always been wanting to do. This finally got me to end up doing that. But I wanted to make sure everything worked. And so my wife and we watched the movie just to make sure. And I don't want it to freeze up during his like Christmas gift viewing. So we watched it then once. Christmas was the fourth time. And then between Christmas and now it was like February. So halfway between watching it for Christmas and the Galaxy movie coming up. We watched it another time, just like, we've been watching other movies like Toy Story, kids movies like that. But one week we were like, you want to watch a Mario movie? And so we did that. So I've seen it like 5 times. And so out of the past like 10 years, that's kind of how I measure movies since I met my wife. It's been 10 years. And, if we haven't watched the movie together, like in the past 10 years, then anything's up for grabs for a rewatch, right? In those past 10 years, I have not seen any movie more than this movie. So I feel like I really understand it more. And so for people who just see this as a giant Easter egg hunt and a bunch of references, I see the hero's journey, right? This is a classic hero's journey structure movie with Mario. And I think the pacing is great in this movie. I think it's like just this roller coaster ride that, as I've seen it so many times, it's just really easy to watch and it's just fun. It keeps it going. And a lot of the things about this movie, I feel like aren't existing in the Mario Galaxy movie, which is a good thing. I didn't want this to be the same movie. I was really afraid about this being the same movie because structurally in this movie, there's so much character introduction, right? It starts out with Bowser, and then you meet Mario and Luigi, and then you meet Toad, and then you meet Peach, and then you meet Donkey Kong, and then it's like, all right, then's the Mario Kart section. We gotta go back, and then you start doing like your final fights and all that. The Mario Galaxy movie, they do a lot of character Okay, hold on. Spoilers. Okay, well, I'm going to be talking about spoilers in this movie. All right, I'm a bit late to this. Like I said, I went 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. The big reason was because half price tickets. Right, this was the first movie that we ever took my son to. So it was his first theater experience, and we had no idea if he was gonna like yell in the crowd or anything like that. Because when we watched at home, Donkey Kong showed up. He's like Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong, and he really likes Bowser Jr., like the toys of Bowser Jr. and like in the books. So I didn't know if he was gonna be yelling, and Tuesday's half price tickets. Now we have to buy 3 tickets. Movie theater's expensive. So we're like, we'll go on Tuesday at 11 a.m. That should be a good time to go. And sure enough, it was. There wasn't that many people in the theater. And for the Mario Galaxy movie, there's a lot of character introduction right out the gate. You know, in the Mario Super Mario Brothers movie, you start out with the Bowser scene, introduction to Bowser. Super Mario Galaxy movie, you start with the introduction of Rosalina and Bowser Jr. And then the first scene with Mario and Luigi, you meet Yoshi right away. That all happens really fast. And again, that's a good thing. I didn't want it to be the same movie. I didn't want it to be this constant like character introduction throughout the entire movie because we already met so many of the characters, but they really got all that out of the way just right out the gate. And I feel like all those character introductions, although that being maybe a cheap way of like keeping the story beat going, I feel like that was replaced with more of like set piece introductions where it's kind of like, here's the Mario World section. Here's the Mario Brothers 2 section. We have an Odyssey section, and here's Mario 3D World section. And it kind of like went through scenes of that, more of set pieces and scenery, which in the end is a good thing. I mean, this is a pro of the movies. The Mario Galaxy movie really felt like a Mario movie, completely in the world of Mario. In the Super Mario Brothers movie, you have the whole New York and Brooklyn section where, you know, which is also kind of cool how that it introduces you into the world of the Mushroom Kingdom. But now that we already have that established from this movie, we're in the Mushroom Kingdom and we are fully in the Mushroom Kingdom and in the galaxy, and everything about it feels like a Mario movie. But those like set piece introductions and scenes, I feel like that didn't feel like as impactful in terms of this like fun roller coaster ride of a movie. And what this ended up doing was I feel like the story really dragged for a little bit. I think the Super Mario Galaxy movie felt pretty slow building up. In the Super Mario Brothers movie, structurally, you split up Mario and Luigi. And, you know, throughout it, you keep going back and forth between, you know, Mario and then like Luigi's side, Luigi/Bowser's side. But in the Mario Galaxy movie, at one point, you had Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Bowser. You had Peach and Toad over here. And then you had Rosalina and Bowser Jr. over there for a second. It didn't last long having those 3 sections, but things are pretty spread out. And I feel like it kind of slowed things down a little bit. Speaking of like the speeding, one other thing that that was really noticeable to me. A big complaint, I don't know if it's a big complaint. I know a big thing of criticism with this movie, the original Super Mario Brothers movie, were like the 80s soundtrack songs. And I know people probably thought that was like cheesy, but you know, Super Mario Brothers came out in the 80s, so I thought that was really, really appropriate. And the more I watch this movie, those sections, like with the music, they kind of make things kind of go fast. But the Super Mario Galaxy movie just stripped out all kinds of like soundtrack like that in favor of Mario music, again, which is good. It's a Mario movie. But in terms of pacing, I think that just like added to it where it just, it slowed things down throughout most of the movie. Another thing I really noticed is this movie overuses slow-mo. There's a lot of scenes throughout the movie, evenly spaced out throughout the movie, where there's just kind of like, you know, backflip, like slow-mo section. I feel like it's really overdone in this movie. But in order to have slow-mo, you need to have something fast-paced going on, right? In the Super Mario Galaxy movie, they didn't use slow-mo until like the final fight with Dry Bowser and Bowser Jr. And they used it quite a bit. Maybe they used more slow-mo in the Galaxy movie than this movie ended up using, but this was more evenly spaced out throughout the movie. And it's not that I love slow-mo, it's that in order to have slow-mo, you need to have a fast-paced section. And so those fast-paced sections of this movie, like, you know, the training and all of that, mixed with that 80s music, the pacing of this movie just felt way faster than the Mario Galaxy movie. And ironically, I think the best part of the Mario Galaxy movie was Star Fox, and I feel like it's even more baffling that Nintendo decided to spoil that just completely outright to get people going. But that was when I thought the movie finally picked up. Everything before Star Fox's introduction, in my opinion, felt slower paced, especially when it comes to the story. Like I said, I'm not sitting there looking for references and Easter eggs all the time. If you gamified the movie and you're just sitting there looking for Easter eggs and references, there was a ton there and it'd be fun. But someone who really loves movies, I am watching the movie, watching the story. I'm picking up on the references. There's Peach's Letter to Mario from N64. We have like the Mario 3D World section at the end, like on Planet Bowser, Dry Bones Bowser. We have Mario Land. We got the Mario 2 section, or I should Super Mario 3D Land, and we have Super Mario Brother 2 section with Birdo and all that with Peach and Toad there. And you can see in the closet when they're getting ready that Mario has his Mario Maker hat. There's a ton of references, but I wasn't sitting there just like picking apart it. And I never did that with Super Mario Brothers movie either. Uh, I know online, I remember when this movie came out and then going online, the IGN's like, here's your Easter egg guide to the movie. Like, I never read that. I don't want to know every Easter egg. I've seen this movie 5 times, and every single time I discover something new. I notice something new. And it's because I'm not using a guide to figure out every Easter egg. I don't need to be talking to people and prove myself to this movie. Like, I don't want to know everything. The next time I watch this movie, I want to learn something new. And so, again, the fact that I've seen this 5 times, I've seen Galaxy movie only 1 time, it's kind of an unfair comparison. So the more I watch the Mario Galaxy movie over time, I might start to appreciate it more. But so far, I felt it was pretty slow, especially up to Star Fox. Now, Star Fox was the best part of the movie, and it would have been better if I didn't even know Star Fox was in this movie. And I somehow made it till Tuesday, and without any spoilers, besides Star Fox, which Nintendo decided to spoil. And I thought Star Fox was the best part. I loved his animated sequence in his introduction. It might have been like the best part of the movie. I'm just like, please, I've been saying this for a long time. I really want Nintendo to make anime, to dive into anime. And that was just like a great proof of concept that a Star Fox anime could work. Functionally, I feel like Star Fox replaced like Donkey Kong in this movie. That was very noticeable that Donkey Kong wasn't in this movie. My son, after the movie, asked where was Donkey Kong. So I really hope the rumors of Nintendo making a Donkey Kong movie are true. And him not being in this movie just I really do believe there's a Donkey Kong movie in development. He wasn't in this movie. It's like, what was Donkey Kong doing during this time? So I do believe that will happen. But Fox felt like he was Donkey Kong's replacement, which was cool. But in terms of other characters, like Mario and Luigi, in the ad Yoshi, okay, in this movie they split up Mario and Luigi. And a lot of people didn't like that. They said it was woke. Instead of Mario saving the princess, he's saving Luigi. And that's lame. That's woke. Okay, I completely disagree with the reasoning for this. Is technically woke. And the Mario Galaxy movie proves this for me. Luigi started out in the original Mario Brothers on NES as a palette swap of Mario. Luigi is kind of nothing outside of like maybe Luigi's Mansion movie, but Luigi's character is like functionally nothing. So they split Mario and Luigi up in the first movie, and it's kind of like there's like Mario like on both sides of like the A-B storylines of that movie. In this one, Mario and Luigi are together all the time. And you throw in Yoshi in the mix. That's 3 characters that functionally move the story like in one. Like they don't do anything. They're functionally one character. I felt like they introduced Yoshi. That felt like a checkbox because it's Mario, right? You got to have Yoshi, and I loved Yoshi. His gangster like background scene or backstory in the beginning of the movie, one of my favorite parts of the movie. I thought it was hilarious. But you could have had this movie without Yoshi. It would have been the same movie. And Mario and Luigi are just Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi are always together, and Luigi and Yoshi don't really do anything, and their characters don't progress. I don't feel like Mario's character progressed at all in this movie. At least in the first one, he went through the hero's journey. In this one, they introduced the love story between Mario and Peach, which is awesome. I'm glad that's finally happening. But they don't resolve the love story, so really, not really much happens with Mario. And Luigi and Yoshi are just kind of there the whole time. They don't really do anything. But again, like, what is Yoshi ever going to do, right? But at the same time, it's like not that meaningful of an ad versus Star Fox, which actually replaces Donkey Kong. But at the same time, it's weird that I feel like my favorite part of the movie, of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, was Star Fox, which isn't even like part of Mario games. That's a really weird feeling. But I do feel like it did pick up during that ever since Fox got introduced. But Even at the end of the movie, with like the final fight, uh, I kind of felt like it ended abruptly out of nowhere. The fight, I felt like there were no stakes. There was no stakes in the final fight, and in this movie, you have Luigi being slowly lowered, and the other characters too. But come on, Luigi's the important one. Luigi slowly being descended into the lava. So it's like if Mario and Donkey Kong don't get there to save him in time, there's some stakes there. I didn't really feel the stakes in the Mario Galaxy movie. This arbitrary, we're going to destroy the galaxy if you don't stop us. But there was no real tension, in my opinion, for the fight. It functioned like the NES Mario games where they had like the 8-bit sprites there on the Bowser OS system that Bowser Jr. was using, where Mario and Peach are going to then fight Bowser on the bridge. Very NES Mario-esque. Again, this is a Mario movie, really embracing the Mario world. Like, these are like, I'm mixed. This is like pros and cons at the same time. It's really cool. Bowser goes down, becomes Dry Bowser. Super Mario 3D Land reference. But then you fight Bowser Jr. He makes the dragon from Mario Odyssey. Arbitrary power-ups. They all just kind of use power-ups and they fight, and then just Mario gets another power-up and wins the fight. It didn't feel like there was like a hero's journey. It didn't feel like there was any stakes. And I almost like didn't even realize I was at the climax of the movie, and then it kind of just very abruptly ended. Which is just like, again, I'm just mixed. I'm just mixed on it. I still loved it. But I don't know. I think I might have liked this one more, and it's still an unfair comparison. I've seen this 5 times. I kind of understand this one more, but this feels like a roller coaster ride that I can keep watching on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. I feel like I don't know, if I watch the Mario Galaxy movie again, that intro from the beginning up until Star Fox, if I'm not actively looking for references, am I going to be falling asleep during the movie? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm gonna end up liking more. Maybe more things are gonna click with me. I feel like I understand a movie better if I watch it multiple times. I'm sure most people do. So I might be missing something. So definitely let me know in the comments if I'm missing anything here, or if you kind of picked up these same vibes as me. I liked that Peach and Rosalina were sisters. I thought that was a really cool touch. But again, they didn't resolve the love story in this movie between Mario and Peach. And Luigi also mentioned, hey, make sure she has a friend, and Daisy's in the end credit scene. So this love story thing is going to be carried into the third movie, and then we're going to have Daisy. I think Wario and Waluigi is just the most obvious antagonist to bring in, so kind of have a lot of that going on. We'll probably have the Donkey Kong movie in between, so the third movie we can bring Donkey Kong back, have a scene of Donkey Kong and Yoshi interacting. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Peach's story progressed a little bit. She kind of had her own little like discovery of who she was that was kind of left off in this movie. I wouldn't go as far as to say she had a hero's journey moment or anything like that, but that was really cool that she got her story resolved in this movie. Toad, not too much happened with him. Again, he's just Toad, but you did have that tension of him being like jealous of Yoshi. That didn't really go anywhere, I felt like. And then, yeah, obviously Donkey Kong wasn't even in the movie. Bowser, he had a really cool character arc. I thought I really enjoyed his arc of being good Bowser for a while and really proving Mario wrong for a bit. And he actually genuinely was good. I was actually surprised. I really was thinking he was pulling a fast one, but he was actually genuinely like being good for a bit. You can tell with the scene with him and Bowser Jr. He was kind of like, I don't know about this. Let's not kill them. But then he becomes bad again, which, I guess that's going to make, in the third movie, they'll probably start out bad, but ultimately end up becoming good. So that's probably, he's probably going to come back around to the good side yet again. I can see that happening. But all in all, again, this is a very special movie, right? Like the Mario Galaxy movie. I'm being, critical. Like the critics who gave it 44%, like I get it. I understand why movie critics gave it a 44%, right? It just might be like, if you don't understand the references and stuff, like the best part of the movies, when I'm sitting there, I'm just like, this is Mario 3D World. This is really cool that they did this. It's really cool to see it on the screen. But, that's what this movie had too. But this was the first time. So when it comes to like the characters and the world, it wasn't as mind blowing. But as someone who's played all the Mario games, it was a lot of fun to see those set pieces, but I felt like the set pieces and those visuals took priority over it, and the story was kind of like, not. I didn't think it was as great of a story. It didn't have that roller coaster vibe, that like rewatchability in terms of like this like nice pacing. So say what you want about the 80s music here. I think that contributed to a good pacing. That's not saying I wanted the 80s music in the Mario Galaxy movie. I think it's good that it was only in this movie and it stayed that way. I'm just saying it contributed to this having a really good pacing. Everything was, even this had a bunch of set pieces like Donkey Kong World, the Rainbow Road. It managed to do the set pieces, but it kept everything going and moving fresh. Where the Mario Galaxy movie just had like a lot of montages, like the Super Mario World section where they're kind of doing all these little things, and every little stop on the map had like just some kind of reference or power up, like the Frog Luigi. That was just like a little quick thing, but uh, it's fun. It's a fun movie, and if you go into the movie gamifying it, and you're just looking for the references, it is cool. But I was just trying to not analyze. I'm trying to watch and enjoy the movie, but I wasn't trying to focus on like the Easter eggs. If I'm sitting there looking at the Easter eggs, my mind's not maybe focused on the dialogue and the story, and that's really what I wanted to be immersed in. And I don't know, maybe it was just the ending being so abrupt that really gave me like those mixes. I didn't feel like I had a payoff for like the love story between Mario and Peach or anything like that. It was a Mario movie. They went into the castle and beat Bowser, and maybe that's all it needed to be. I got the movie pre-ordered already. It's the first movie my son has ever went to in theaters. I got to go there and enjoy that with him. It is forever going to be a special movie, just like this one, his first movie that he has ever watched. We watched on Christmas. Like, these are memories and moments that are gonna make me love the movie forever. I'm going to leave a link to groove.com down below for anybody who wants the movie and hasn't pre-ordered yet. Order from Groove and not Amazon, and I'm not affiliated with it or anything like that. This is just like a pro tip, because like if you care about your stuff, Amazon's just going really downhill when it comes to movies. They'll just throw in the box. I get so many cracked movies from Amazon. I buy it all the time from them, but Groove, they all they do is sell movies, and they package it really good, and you'll get a good copy of the movie, and you'll get like 20% off if it's your first order. I'll leave a link down below. I'm not affiliated. I get nothing from it. I'll just put that out for you guys, because that's where I like to order movies too. And yeah, it's forever going to be a special movie. I super enjoyed it. I look forward to the Donkey Kong movie. I look forward to the third Mario movie. I think that my son had a great time. He doesn't have the same criticism I have. For him, it was visuals, these characters on screen. He's just like, why did Rosalina had only one eye? I'm like, yeah, Rosalina had one eye. He loved it. Again, my thesis for these movies are going to be a huge part of Nintendo's success in the future. Absolutely believe that. Amazing proof of concept for Star Fox. I hope they make a Star Fox anime or a movie, but that animation looked awesome. And yeah, keep expanding Nintendo with these movies, with TV shows. I love it. But the mix, was it bad? The mixed reviews, like I mean, I don't know, like I can see why movie critics don't like it, but again, it's the Mario movie. It's a kids movie. It was a fun movie. And I got what I wanted. I didn't want it to be like this movie, and it wasn't like this movie. So yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't make the same movie again for Mario 3. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I hope they can find something where they can make some kind of deeper, more rich story. I mean, I'm not asking for anything crazy. It's the Mario movie, but I'm here saying that I think this movie, with just the little extra things it had, like with the stakes, with like the Luigi being captured and being lowered into lava, that felt like more stakes than when the Mario Galaxy movie had to offer. Even though Rosalina was captured and Peach had to save her, it didn't feel the same. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments if you enjoyed the movie. And yeah, let's talk more. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Later.